What is up, you guys? It's your girl Cianna Renee, and I'm back at it again with another video. I'm really trying to be consistent. I know I say it all the time, but I'm really trying to be consistent. I have goals I set for myself when it comes to this YouTube thing, and I want to make sure that this is the year, as well as the other years to come, that I achieve those goals. So yeah, but in today's video, we have a video that you guys have loved in the past. It's one of my most viewed videos on my channel, and it's the tea on Hampton University do's and don'ts part 2, y'all. Yes, we had to make a part 2. Part 1 was good, but I was like a freshman, or I just finished my freshman year when I made that video, and I'm a upcoming senior now, so I just feel like what better way to start off the new year with another tea on Hampton video, or at least the summertime, because I know a lot of upcoming freshmen in college are getting ready to go to college and need some advice. So I'm here to give it to y'all from an upcoming senior, because I know, like, the advice that I gave them was great, but I have so much more I can give y'all now when it comes to social lives, when it comes to school, academics, all of that. So if you guys, hello? Sorry, y'all. I was on the phone with my friend. He needed some script help. But when was the last time I did a sit-down video? Because I've been kind of hitting on the vlogs lately. I don't know. My vinyl collection, that was 2 months ago. Okay. Yeah, I've just been doing a lot of vlogs lately, which I love because I really want to start getting more into vlogs. But yeah, I really feel like my channel is about to go at an all-time high these next couple months, and I feel like the end of 2025 going into 2026, my channel is going to be in a great place, and I just want to continue striving and aiming for that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys do, make sure to give it a thumbs up, comment down below, hit that post notification bell, and hit that subscribe button, and follow me on all my social medias. The links to all of them will be in the description box below. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and let's hop straight into these do's and don'ts. Do feel comfortable changing your major or adding a major / minor. I feel like as students, we kind of try to be so sure of where we want to go in life, especially in college. And one thing I'm gonna let you know now is that is a 99.999% chance of not happening. You will 100% change your mind on a lot of things, and sometimes that's your path, and that is okay. You come into college as a 17-18-year-old and leave as a 21-22-year-old. Do you really think your teenage self is going to be the same? Like, no. Throughout the midst of that, you are going to change, and I really do feel like the most pivotal year of changing is your junior year. Now, I would say, like, for me personally, I regret not switching my major or adding a minor, because I really did want to do strategic communications. And fun fact, you guys, I actually applied to Hampton as a strat comm major, but changed it because I realized I wanted to do film instead of graphic design. But then I realized that as I was in Hampton and getting into clubs and organizations, I actually do like digital media, which is why I should have at least minored in the field or area of journalism and communications. Now, that doesn't mean I don't want to do film. I still love film. I still want to do film, but there's other aspects of my life that I really do want to explore, or other academics. And I know the School of Journalism and Communications do get a lot of opportunities and a lot of equipment and stuff that I would like to get my hands on. So I do regret not switching my major or adding a minor, but it's okay, because it doesn't mean that my journey towards what I want to do is over or gone, or opportunities are gone. But you won't have to regret it if you change your major or add the minor, or maybe do a double major if you're ambitious like that. So yeah, I would really take advantage of that. I would say though, the latest to maybe change your major would probably be the end of your sophomore year. I wouldn't go past that, because it is a lot of classes and you may or may not have to stay an extra year, and you want to avoid that. But if it becomes that late, then I would say make it a minor, and whatever you wanted to do before, make that a minor and get those classes out the way from the start of your junior year. This way you kind of still have an opportunity or chance, or you're still more than likely to graduate on time. And I know it's it's a lot to think about and it's a lot to contemplate on, because it kind of feels like you're starting over. But when it comes to adding a minor, it's not starting over, it's just like an extra piece to your curriculum. And I feel like, you know, it's never too late to do that, unless it's like, again, the end of your junior year or senior year or something. You obviously can't do it then. But yeah, add that minor. I know for me, I could have added it as a minor when I decided that I really wanted to do Strat-Com or communications, but I didn't do it because I'm in the honors college, and with the honors college I have to take extra courses, so it's technically a minor on its own. So it kind of would have felt like a double minor, and that would have filled up my schedule more than I needed it to, unfortunately. So yeah, I decided to not do it. But if you're not like in the honors college, or if you, for your honors college, you don't have to take extra classes. I mean, this is Hampton, so you will have to take extra classes if you're in the honors college. But if you're not in the honors college, then take advantage of adding something as a minor if you feel like it's too late to make it, to switch your major or something, because I do feel like you should take advantage of that. This is your life we're talking about. Like, please, like, make sure you are okay, or you're content with the decisions you've made when it comes to your undergrad experience. Next, do not give in to peer pressure or FOMO. As young college students, you're living with your friends and you're surrounded by a bunch of people who have more experience in certain things or areas than you do, and it may make you feel left out, but that doesn't mean you should give in to that feeling, and you shouldn't let it override your morals or ethics. And yeah, I would say this is very hard to do when you're in college, especially when you have friends that have, you know, done anything before you have, and it kind of makes you feel like you need to grow up. And sometimes people around you make you feel like you need to grow up. Those are the type of people you don't need to be around. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And that's because no one should make you feel bad about having morals or standards or not being quote unquote easy. You should never feel bad about that. And in fact, your friends should make you feel good about those things. And if they don't, and they make you feel like you like lack experience and you can't be talking or something, like if they make you feel that way, they're not your friends. So yeah, don't give in to the peer pressure or FOMO. I know it's hard, again, because like for me, like I like to compare it to like how in middle school when everybody had their periods and you were a late bloomer, and all those conversations you couldn't be in because you didn't have it, and like part of you wanted it, but then at the same time, is it really that, like, is it really a good thing to have? You know what I'm saying? So like that's how certain things feel in college. And as long as you focus on yourself and you're content with where you are as a person, then you'll be perfectly fine and not worried about what other people are doing with their life, because at the end of the day, you're on your own path and no one should ever make you feel bad about that. Next, please y'all, please, this is something freshman Cianna could not tell you, but I'm telling you right now. Find ways to make money on campus. Find yourself a little side hustle. If you can do hair, please take it. I wish I could do hair, y'all. Like, I wish I could do hair. I wish I could do other people's hair, because you know how much money that saves you? Like, being able to do other people's hair and get money for that, and then on top of that, you know how to do your own hair, so you don't have to pay other people to do your hair. Bro, it's a lifesaver, especially if you know how to do your own hair. Now, it saves you money, it saves you time, it saves you energy. And I mean, it don't really save you time and energy. Regardless, you're gonna be spending time and energy doing your hair and getting it done. But either way, it's way better because you don't have to pay other people to do a service that you can do yourself. And that goes for nails, brows, lashes, all those things. Like, if you can do it yourself, please do it yourself. Like, actually, that's something I really learned once I started making money, and comparing my life to when I was a freshman in college and I was broke every week and I had to ask my family for money. Comparing that to like my sophomore and junior year, where I actually had some type of money coming in. It's not saying that I didn't ask for money every now and then. I definitely did. And honestly, the beginning of my junior year was the biggest struggle because I had to pay off my laptop. So, because my other laptop broke. So it definitely was a big struggle for me. But at the end of the day, like, I feel way more secure in college now that I get a little check every month than I did my freshman year. And the thing is, it's easier your freshman year a little bit when you don't make money, because your freshman year is your first year in college. Your parents and your family members are going to be quick to send you a little check, or a little, not a check, but like a little couple dollars and stuff if you actually begging for it. And another thing is, all your friends who are freshmen too, aren't making money as well for the most part, so y'all in the same boat. Like, y'all both broke, so at the end of the day, like, it is not really a struggle for real. But then when you get to your sophomore and junior year, your friends get cars and you don't have to Uber anywhere no more. But then, like, they also want to go out, but you can't afford to eat. Like, those type of things suck. And you don't want to keep asking your parents for money when you're 19, 20 years old. And I'm not saying I don't ask my parents for money, because I definitely do. But it's the amount of times you ask. And that's why I feel like I'm very grateful to be able to make money while on campus and doing something that I enjoy, because it makes me a little bit less reliant on people. And then I'm also learning saving habits and spending a little bit less and learning how to save my money, because I've definitely learned that money blows. Like, I used to think $400 a month was something when I first got it, but no, baby. Like, there are things that, like, I gotta pay for. There are things that I told people I would do with them, or like plans that I've had or made with people, and people that, you know, may need some money and I'm gonna be generous enough to send it. Like, things like that you got to think about and learn how to manage your money well. So, like, that's how you kind of have to discipline yourself and making sure that you are saving your money, but try to have a little side hustle so that you don't have to worry too much about how you're making money on campus. Also, you don't want to be the broke friend. I'm sorry. Like, you do not want to be the broke friend. You don't want to be that friend that, like, people ask you to hang out, but they don't like asking you because they know you're going to say you can't go because you broke. Like, you don't want to be that friend. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Let me clarify. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, some people just don't got it. We in college. It's okay. But use that as kind of like a motivation. Like, you want to go out with your friends. You want to do things. Save your money. And find something. At least, the least you could do is make money over the summer and save as much as possible. This way you have money to go into the school year with. And then I'm sure you'll get money here and there from doing something. If you don't, find something to get money for. Make smoothies. Sell smoothies. If you know how to cook, if you know how to bake, sell that stuff. Like, I have people that literally do that just to make money on campus. You can. People will buy your stuff. Trust me. Don't dwell on situations. Okay, let me clarify this. Just because I'm telling you to do it, that doesn't mean I'm perfect and that I 100% do this. But don't dwell on situations. I've definitely gotten better with not doing this, because at the end of the day, this is life. You make mistakes. Other people make mistakes. You don't want to spend a majority of your time and energy, especially for this small increment of time. Like, you're in college. Like, you have 4 years of your life to make mistakes, have fun, and learn. Like, that's really what college is about. And if you're going to sit here and dwell on mistakes and things that you made or other people made, you're going to make yourself miserable. And you don't want to look back on your college experience and be like, dang, like, I really held this grudge for so long, or I really, like, let this ruin my college experience. You don't want to do that. That's not something you want to tell your future kids. So don't dwell on situations. Don't make a big deal out of certain things. And honestly, even if it is a big deal, dwell on it for the moment. And then after about a day or two, leave it alone. Like, it's over. Like, there's nothing you could do about it. It happened already. Do be okay with people not liking you. This is a lesson that I need to learn for myself. I'm a very big people pleaser, and it doesn't seem like it because I try to be so secure and self-loving, which I definitely am. But at the same time, like, even though you can come off as that, obviously you never know what somebody's true feelings are. And one of my true feelings, outside of the fact that I try to stand strong and confident in who I am, is I care about whether or not people like me. And it's okay to have a desired image for yourself, because obviously I feel like part of that is a good thing, because when you're going into the real world, you always want to make a good impression because you never know who's watching. But then at the end of the day, you have to realize that no matter how hard you try, there's going to be somebody that doesn't like what you do. Once you realize that there are people in this world that you do not like, that haven't done anything to you, you just don't like them, you don't like the way that they move. Once you realize that, you're very much okay with people doing the same thing, or people feeling the same way about you. That doesn't mean you act on those feelings. Now, people who act on those feelings towards you are the people who are a problem. But if you live your life, like, I'm sitting here recording myself on a YouTube video giving advice on Hampton University, and there's somebody out there that does not like me. And look what I'm doing, bro. Like, and this is only a small segment of your life. Like, there are gonna be people who don't like you, but then years from now, y'all are both gonna be completely different people, and either not like each other even more, or y'all may like each other. Like things like, I know you had that one friend that you didn't like at first when you first met them, but then when you grew up, or like y'all got to know each other more, you started to like them. A lot of the people that don't like me don't really know me like that, and they judge me based off things that they heard from other people and are like a little birdie told me type thing. Me personally, listen, you do you. Hey, or if you're gonna believe that my intent was really to be malicious towards you, then you clearly don't know my character. Like, I understand people do a lot of things and we judge them for it. That's what we do as human beings. It happens. Or we don't hang around certain people because of the way they act or the things that we know they did that is just getting around. But at the end of the day, there are certain things that I feel like we shouldn't be so quick to judge people on in terms of like their character, and we shouldn't let that be the determining factor as to whether or not we talk to them or we're cool with them. Because one thing about me, I don't care what you did. Like, you could have dogged the F out of somebody. I may talk about it because it's like, dang, you really did that? Like, people do that. Like, but I'm not gonna sit there and be rude to you or bully you or like be nasty towards you, because it has nothing to do with me, to be honest. Now, if you did it to me, that's another story. I may not hang around you because I don't like those type of people around me, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna, if you talk to me, if you say hi to me, if you wave to me, I'm not gonna not wave back. You know what I'm saying? So things like that, certain people you just don't like being around, you're not compatible. Some people are oil and you're water, and y'all just don't mix, and that is okay. Do not compare yourself to others. Now, especially being in an HBCU, when you're surrounded by a bunch of brilliant black brains, it is very easy to develop feelings of imposter syndrome or forgetting what makes you great. Walk in your purpose. Like, you know who you are, you know what you do, and it's something that I've definitely fell into a couple of times, and not feeling like I'm good enough or not feeling like I'm doing enough. And people always have to remind me, like, Cianna, you're doing more than enough, like, you're great. But then, like, I don't feel that way because I'm surrounded by a bunch of people who either do the same thing or more, and it makes you want to do more. But then you have to understand that you are not somebody else's path. Like, you are in your own lane, you are in your own path, and that is destined for you. Your definition of success is completely different from someone else's definition of success. So why would you think y'all paths are gonna be the same? Like, y'all may be at Hampton University together, y'all may be taking the same class or something, but you might fail a test and they might pass it. They might fail a test and you might pass it. And you might like this club or organization and they might like this one. All these things, a part of your environment, affect who you are and your journey. If you really think that somebody is going to be doing the exact same thing you're doing and you're going to be doing the exact same thing somebody else is doing, you're wrong. You're completely wrong. Your paths may collide at some point, like going to the same college or being in the same major, but as far as your specific goals and the specific things that you're aiming for, it's never ever gonna align with somebody else's. And don't worry about being better than the next person. Worry about being better than yesterday's self, than your yesterday self. Like, that's the only thing you should be worried about. You should be worried about being better than you, nobody else. Do focus on yourself. And now, this is one obviously that piggybacks off of the last one. When you're worried about yourself, you're not, you know, stressing about imposter syndrome, and you're not stressing about what you could be doing more that somebody else is doing, because you're focused on you. You're focused on the things that you have going on for yourself. So it wouldn't matter to you. And that goes on to pretty much everything I said. Stop dwelling on situations. Be okay with people not liking you. When you're focused on you, you don't worry about the outside world for real. You really think like you have main character energy. And that's the type of energy you need to continue to strive for. Main character. You are the main character in your story. Everybody else is a side character or a supporting character. And that's literally goes for everybody in this world. So if you really think somebody's worried about you that much, baby, you are just an extra. Like, you are just an extra. And that's how you should feel too. Like, obviously your close friends and family are going to be like the main supporting characters in your story. But for the most part, people are literally just extras. Don't be afraid of change, y'all. Undergrad is one of the main areas of your young adulthood where you will be changing consistently, and don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of being uncomfortable, or be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like, you have to understand that these are big shifts in your life and they are never gonna stop. Like, you're always gonna continue to grow and shift and change and develop, and you have to be okay with that, and you have to learn how to embrace these changes that you're going to be going through and not run away from them. And I feel like one of the main, like I said, pivotal ages where you change is junior year. Junior year, I feel like, is growth. Like freshman year, sophomore year, you make all the mistakes, you learn from them. Junior year, you grown, baby. You about to get out of here. You need to start thinking realistically about life and your goals and all of that. So lock in and don't be afraid to change. Do feel okay with asking for extra time from your professors and teachers. You have to communicate. That's one thing I would say or stress really bad when it comes to college, is you have to communicate with your professors and build those relationships with them. I think I told y'all in my first one to build relationships with your professors. Once you do that, it becomes way easier to communicate with them and ask for extra time. Even for me personally, there's some teachers that if they knew I was upset or I was having a bad day, they would either tell me like, it's okay, you don't have to come to class, or email me and I'll give you an extra day on the assignment. Like, I wouldn't even have to ask them. So like things like that, you have to take advantage of building those relationships with your professors. If you're a student that always skips class or doesn't really hand in your work on time at all, or put much effort into your class work or like assignments in the classroom, your teachers aren't really going to have that much sympathy for you. But because I'm a student that shows up and puts my best foot forward, professors know I'm serious about putting my work in on time, so they don't mind offering me extra time because they know I'm going to get the work done. So don't be afraid to ask for extra help, especially if you're that student. If you're really going through something, regardless, you should always be comfortable or feel comfortable talking to your teachers about extenuating circumstances. But if you're having a rough day, or if you had a really bad sickness or something, if you need some extra time to do a piece of assignment or work, then let them know that and feel comfortable communicating. Don't burn yourself out. Now, one very big result of comparing yourself to other people is you end up doing more than you can bear because you trying to overdo your part, because you see other people and what they're doing, and it becomes extremely overwhelming. Avoid comparing yourself to others so that you can avoid burnout. And one thing I do want to mention when it comes to comparing yourself, I remember seeing a TikTok recently and it completely shifted my mind. The guy said comparison is very dangerous because you can end up comparing yourself to where God has you and where the devil has them. Don't compare yourself, bro, because these are the consequences that could come with it. Like, even when it comes to burning yourself out, like, you can end up being so worried about what somebody else is doing that you end up copying them, and now look what path you on. And be okay and be content with where you are. Take your time. Like, treat yourself right, man. Do feel comfortable going to therapy. Whew, y'all, I remember my first therapy session. I don't, but I remember it was my freshman year. When I tell you therapy, like being able to talk to a person that looks like me and like can understand me and just be there to listen. Like, they don't even have to tell me anything or tell me I'm right or wrong. Like, just being there to listen is so good. It feels like a punching bag, a mental punching bag. Like, you need that sometimes, and it's available on campus, especially at Hampton. So take advantage of it. It's free. I mean, it's not free, but you know, it's free. You know, you don't have to pay anything when you walk in there. So make those calls. You have to take that initiative and make those calls. Do feel comfortable taking initiative too, making those calls. I didn't go to therapy at all my junior year, and I really needed to. I need to go every year. Like, I'm gonna take advantage of it this year. Don't get me wrong. I used to have terrible anxiety when I had to present, especially my freshman year, because second semester I was taking a lot of like upperclassmen courses, especially for my major, because I'm an English major, but I took English 101 in high school. So when I got to college, I was already ahead. So the second semester of my freshman year, I was already out of my prereqs and I was taking regular courses that sophomores and juniors and even seniors were in. So when it comes to that, it was very difficult for me to present, and I got really nervous sometimes in some of my classes. And I do remember my first time in therapy. I ended up calling the counseling center that day that I like shook up, and it wasn't even an upperclassman class. It was actually a freshman class that I choked in, and I was so upset. I was embarrassed. I wanted to cry. I went to my room and cried, and then I made a appointment with the counseling center, and I talked about it, and literally they gave me some methods to do. And I had two presentations the next Tuesday, and I was talking to them about that, and then they gave me some methods and I used them before my presentations, and those were the best presentations I felt like I ever did my freshman year, and I was so happy. And from then on, I realized that I didn't have anxiety, I was just anxious. Like, I didn't have anxiety, I was just anxious, and I let my head get to me. And a lot of things are really just mental. Like, it's really just your brain, and you have to learn how to get out of your head. Don't forget your purpose. Walk in it, queen or king. Don't think about what other people are doing. Don't think about the next person. Focus on your journey, and don't forget your purpose. Walk in it. Be confident. Be confident in who you are and the things that you're doing. Even if you don't have it all figured out, be confident and comfortable in who you are, and be proud of where you are, because it takes a lot to be in your position, and I know that. So stay beautiful and stay confident. Mwah. Do take risks. Now, I don't mean any risks. Child. Think you grown. Risks are a part of college. It's a part of life. And when I say risks, I mean be okay stepping out of your comfort zone, wearing something you felt like you would have never worn before, or joining a club or organization that you would have never thought you would have been interested in. Take advantage of those moments. Like, any performance, like, I know in my school we have train like an alpha, walk like a sigma, shimmy like a noob. Take advantage of those, bruh. Like, do a pageant, like things like that. I mean, I would never do a pageant. I ain't taking that type of risk, but step out of your comfort zone. Do things that you would have never thought you would have done before, because when you look back on your college experience, you want to be proud. You want to be able to say, like, I did this and I never would have thought I would have done this. Those good risks, the things that will help you succeed, not the bad risks. I don't mean those, so don't tell your parents I said that, but you know what I mean. Like, be comfortable with taking those risks that will, you know, get you outside of your comfort zone, get you outside of your box, because that's what college is about. Risks can also mean be comfortable with speaking up. Be comfortable with, I know I mentioned that in my last one, be comfortable with speaking up. Be comfortable with telling an adult, like in a financial aid office or in the CAF, I wanted this, I didn't ask for this. Because sometimes in the CAF, they don't like their job over there sometimes, and they be having an attitude of throwing everything on your plate. I told you I don't like Brussels sprouts, so don't put that on my plate. And you ain't even got to say it like that. You don't got to say it like that, but like, let them know how you feel. And that goes for every area, like your teachers, the CAF, the financial aid office, anywhere you are where you have to speak up. Be comfortable with taking that risk and telling somebody how you feel. Don't assume everybody has good intentions. This is one for me too, y'all. I ain't even finna lie. You have to understand that not everybody is like you, and not everybody has the heart that you have. And I feel like sometimes we leave so much room for disappointment when we expect people to have the same heart that we have. Everybody's different. Everybody was raised different. Things that are common knowledge to you may not be common knowledge to somebody else. So you cannot assume that everybody understands the things that you understand or you feel like is right or wrong, because truth is, it's not. And like, sometimes one thing I learned in college is your closest friends, the people you talk to every day, will do you in, and they won't even understand it. Like, and you be like, you really don't know what you did? Sometimes they really don't. And I'm not saying you got to give people grace all the time, because some things are common knowledge, some things are common sense, but some things aren't. And it doesn't mean that you have to take them back as a friend, but you also have to build your mentality to understand that, like, some people don't always have good intentions. It doesn't mean I'm telling you to cut everybody off who doesn't understand certain things that they do. You can be willing to have that conversation, because I also feel like people who are so quick to cut you off and not have a conversation with you have a problem. But that's just me. When it comes to your close friends, you should be able to talk to them, or people that you know you talked to before. You should feel comfortable telling them your issues if you have anything. But not everybody has good intentions. Do apply for e-board positions, y'all. I know a lot of us, we feel like it's enough to just join clubs and organizations, and it may be enough, but apply for e-board positions. Do other things. Step that level up. Take risks, especially when it comes to your sophomore, junior, senior year, like your upperclassmen years in college. Apply for those positions that give you leadership skills and qualities. One piece of advice I would give you when it comes to the real world and you have interviews, you're gonna have to talk about yourself. And if you have nothing to show for yourself, what are you gonna talk about? And in jobs, they look for leadership skills, because when it comes to promotions and you get a higher position because your boss is leaving or retiring, you have to have those leadership skills. Even if it's an organization that has nothing to do with what you're pursuing, but it's something that you enjoy, like a dance club or something. Even if you say, I was the marketing chair for this organization, or I was the treasurer, you know, you could have been in a dance org, but your major is accounting, so you were the treasurer for that organization. Things like that are leadership skills that you can always use. And I feel like e-board positions are the perfect way to develop leadership skills outside of a particular job or position. Like, you could be doing something completely unrelated to what you're pursuing, yet that e-board position is what helps you with those leadership skills, those communication skills, those collaboration skills. Those things are important. So once you get comfortable and acclimated in your orgs, your freshman and like half your sophomore year, utilize those upperclassmen years to take advantage of e-board positions so that you can make yourself stand out even more from the typical person. Everybody could be in a club, but how many people have that e-board position? Y'all, this is a real one. I heard this one time. I never forgot it. Don't rely on motivation, but rely on self-discipline. Sometimes there is no motivation, and I hate to tell you it, but that's something I recently realized, because we have certain priorities that we don't want to do, and sometimes we try to find a motivation to do it, and sometimes, to be honest, there is no motivation. Like today, I had to, well, last night I tried to make my schedule. I fell asleep making it, but as I was making my schedule, I was like, okay, what can I do when I wake up that'll motivate me to wake up? And I couldn't think of anything. And the truth is, sometimes there isn't a motivational aspect to it. Sometimes you just have to do it. Like Nike really be chewing y'all with that. Like, it's so simple, but just do it. Like, you literally have to just do it. And even if you have to wake up and do something you don't want to do, there's going to be plenty of days like that. And your motivation shouldn't be, oh, I have to go out because of this, or I have this, or I gotta get my money. Sometimes it ain't gonna happen so quickly, and sometimes the things that you want ain't gonna happen on your time. So you can't always rely on motivational aspects to get you up in the morning or to get you to do something that you're supposed to be doing. You should really rely on your self-discipline and discipline yourself to get up regardless of the energy it takes or how much work it takes and stuff. Do make your mark on campus. I feel like this is very important because it goes back to the whole e-board positions and like making yourself stand out. I feel like college is a legacy, like something you leave behind, and you want to make sure that when you leave your school, you left with something somebody can remember you by. Like for me personally, one of my things that I felt like I'm leaving a mark on is getting the band page to 10,000 followers while I was the head social media coordinator for the account, creating the logo for the student film organization, as well as the first ever merch, and creating our official colors for the organization. These are things that I feel like when I leave Hampton, people are going to think about that. Like 10 years from now, hopefully the logo is still being used, but even if it isn't, they're gonna be like, okay, who made the first logo for SFO? Like all these old posts that have the first official logo, who made that? People are gonna know me. And when I visit my clubs and organizations that meant so much to me, I will be able to have something to say or show for myself that I did and made an impact on this campus with. So leave your mark. Find something to leave your mark with. And even if it's physical, whether it's physical or not, like even if it's mental, like the people you surrounded yourself with, like those are the memories that you want to keep forever, you know? Don't let a he or she stop you from getting that degree. Hello. You are here for a social life, yes. You are here for all the great things, the parties, the fun, all of that. But the main thing you need to leave out of here is not with a man or a woman. It is a degree. And if you are letting other people stop you from getting that degree, you're not focused on yourself, baby. You're not focused on yourself. When it comes to focusing on yourself, you're also prioritizing yourself. And one thing that you want to be a part of yourself and your accomplishments, if you're in college, obviously, is that degree. And if you're letting other people stop you from getting that, and by stop, I mean stop you from going to class, making you skip class with them, or multiple times to the point where it affects your grade, or affects your attitude and the way that you approach your professors, or your energy and your work, they ain't for you. They gotta go. If they're affecting your grades, if they're affecting the way you approach the classroom and affecting your mental in the classroom, they gotta go. Do take accountability for your actions. We are grown, y'all. Like, I feel like taking accountability and understanding you're wrong is something you learn in like high school. Like, obviously, if you don't feel like you did anything wrong, then you can't. If you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it, obviously. But if you know you did something wrong, don't try to stand on it. And I mean, stand on what you did it. But don't try to make it seem like you're innocent and you didn't do what you did. Like, don't be lying. I cannot stand a liar. Like, I understand I understand lying when you're embarrassed, or like lying when you feel like you don't feel comfortable talking about it. But if you don't ever own up to what you do, and you just never take accountability for your actions when you know you did something wrong, we have to learn how to be mature about situations and take accountability for our actions. Even if you feel like you weren't the only one wrong, you're not the full villain here. Like, you're also the victim. Then say that, yes, I did mess up, but I also feel like you messed up here. I apologize for my actions. Can you explain to me your actions? Or like, apologize to me for your actions. These are mature adult conversations. Don't question your worth because others can't see it. This goes back to focusing on yourself and walking in your purpose, because no one's opinion should affect how you see yourself, baby. If you're so secure in yourself, other people's opinions don't matter. People's opinions only matter when you don't feel secure enough in yourself. Because when you're secure and locked in who you are, no one's opinion is going to change that. Opinions are subjective. Like, we're all human beings. We all have opinions that differ and may even change on a very inconsistent basis. So why am I worried about what you think? Don't ever question your worth. And by worth, I mean your beauty, your appearance, the way you talk, the way you act. If you love who you are as a person, then someone else's opinion shouldn't affect you. And that doesn't mean that just because you love who you are, you don't have flaws. You should be able to acknowledge your flaws and understand them and embrace them and work on them. Like, that's embracing your flaws comes with understanding that it's who you are right now, and it's something that you can change. But at the end of the day, regardless of what you know you can change about yourself, you wouldn't trade yourself for the world. And that's what walking in your purpose and not questioning who you are means. Someone may tell you about yourself, but that doesn't mean you're any less great than whether or not you had that quality. You want to constantly strive to be a better version of yourself, yes, but you should be content with who you are as a person and what builds you and your character overall, regardless of the things that you know you need to change. So yeah, don't ever question your worth because other people can't see it. Do forgive yourself for making mistakes. Now, I told y'all, accountability is a high school thing. Now, the next part is forgiving yourself. We make mistakes, and one thing about me is I've been very hard on myself when I have made mistakes. At the end of the day, as long as you take accountability, that's the first step. The next step is forgiving yourself. Like, you have to forgive yourself and understand that you are human and you're a young adult. And I feel like your 20s is the prime time where you are very hard on yourself and you don't forgive yourself because you're young, you're dumb, you make mistakes, like your brain isn't fully developed all the way. But at the same time, you have adult responsibilities and sometimes you may mess up, you know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of the effects that you make in your early 20s can affect you long term, like your credit score. If you have a credit card at 20 and you don't pay it off by 30, your credit score may be messed up, or you may have bad credit history. Things like that is a lot of the reasons why I feel like it's hard for 20-year-olds to or like young 20s, like in that area. I feel like it's really hard for us to develop forgiveness for ourselves. But I feel like we have to take care of ourselves. We have to love ourselves, and we have to forgive the things that we've done, and like learn to be understanding of ourselves and understand that we make mistakes too. If you're so quick to forgive the people that you love, your significant other, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, cousin, sister, brother, if you're so quick to forgive them, your best friend even, why aren't you quick to forgive yourself? Like, and really think about that. Like, I've mentioned this before, but like, envision yourself outside of your body and ask yourself these questions. Do you love yourself? Do you take care of this person? Do you appreciate this person? Do you forgive this person when you mess up, when they mess up? And if you say no to any of those, then you have a lot of work to do. And I'm not saying that to be judgmental, because I feel like I need to be talking about something like that right now. Like, and it doesn't mean, you know, don't acknowledge them. Like, yes, you did wrong, but fix it. Work on fixing it and forgive yourself for making those mistakes and continue to strive to be better. You may make it again and you don't even realize, or it may be a subconscious mistake that you constantly keep making. You have to learn the hard way. But at the end of the day, once you take accountability and realize the mistakes that you made, you have to learn how to just work towards fixing it and forgiving yourself for it. Because loving yourself is a part of forgiving yourself when you make mistakes, the same way you do with other people. Don't try to have everything figured out in this life, especially when you're well into college, or even when you're an incoming freshman and stuff. It's very easy to try to trip yourself up and make it seem like you have to have everything figured out after these 4 years. And post-grad depression is real. You're young. You have so much time. Like 21 is a young age. Like once you graduate, it's okay to not have everything figured out. It's okay to live with your parents for another 5 years. It's fine. Life is literally a roller coaster. You have very high highs and very low lows, but you have to go down in order to come up. Yeah, don't try to have everything figured out because it doesn't have to be figured out right now. Trust me. Do be okay with letting people go and not clinging on to toxic relationships or friendships. Y'all, we need to stop it. Like toxicity, you may feel like it's cute when you're young and dumb and like, you know, for the time being, but it becomes draining and tiring. No one should want that for themselves. Like if this person is constantly bringing you problems and issues and having you crying consistently, like it's not even like it's a once in a blue moon type of thing, because issues happen, problems happen, but if this is a consistent thing, do you really think this is the love of your life? Do you really think this is your soulmate? Do you think your soulmate, and I always ask myself this, do you think your soulmate is gonna have you crying at night every single day? God is never gonna let what you've lost be the best you've ever had. Lock that in. Lock that in. Shout out to that TikTok, because it also changed my life and perspective on friendships and relationships, because God is never going to let things that you constantly keep losing, constantly keep falling out your hand, be the best thing you ever had. No, the best thing you ever had is going to be something you least expect and something that you never would have even thought existed. Don't stop striving to be the best version of yourself. The grind don't stop. It never stops. Even when you graduate, the grind continues. The grind don't stop until you die. And you're never going to be fully content with who you are. There's always something you could be working on. Never stop striving at any point of your life to be better than who you were yesterday. Continue to be the best version of yourself. Or continue to strive to be the best version of yourself. Do set boundaries in every area of your life, whether that's friends or co-workers or bosses even. Now, setting boundaries doesn't mean being disrespectful, and it doesn't always mean physically saying your boundaries. Some things, like even with certain friends that I have, there's certain things I know I can't say or do with them because they're not that friend, and they've either set that boundary verbally or they've set that boundary just by being who they are. Like some boundaries you can just tell by the person's character. Don't stop trusting the process, having faith in God and his destined path for you, y'all. Please don't. It's made for you for a reason. And one thing I had to understand that I also realized recently is when it comes to a situation that you're dealing with, whether it's a hardship, a challenge, a difficulty, a trial, no matter what, either way, something greater is going to come out of it, or something is going to be prepping you for that greater thing that is to come. Remember that when it comes to anything that you're facing that's hard, any situation that you're dealing with, is that something good is going to come out of this, whether it's prepping you for something greater or it is that greater thing coming. It doesn't matter. Regardless, God is going to have something in store for you with every trial or hardship that you face. So take advantage of those and really learn and understand the lessons that you have learned from those mistakes and from those difficulties that you face and mountains that you've had to climb, because these are all things that make you a better person. Don't always look for clarity. I feel like this is something I'm still learning. You know, you always want to know why somebody did something to you, and at the end of the day, the clarity ain't gonna make your past self feel any different. And sometimes the clarity don't do nothing but piss you off, because it's just a justification for stupidity and a lack of consideration for your feelings. And even if it's that serious to the point where you don't want to be friends with them again, what's the point of the clarity anyway if you're not going to be friends with them? So you don't always need clarity. Don't always look for it. Don't be afraid to lose your connections. I'm doing another don't because I want to save the last do. Networking is a very big part of college. Like, college is literally a networking hub. All these people are future CEOs, future pilots, you know, free flights or something, you feel me? They're future bosses, they're future lawyers, presidents even, maybe, you know, future political leaders. Like, you have to take advantage of these connections, keep in contact with these people. That's one thing I feel like college taught me, is to keep in contact with my friends, because you never know what they're gonna have, and your friends never know what you're gonna have. So, you know, my friends always say, because I work for Warner Brothers and I get all this free merch and stuff, they always tell me, like, you know, I'm gonna keep in contact with you for free movie tickets and stuff like that, like silly stuff like that. But those things actually are true. Like, you want to maintain relationships with people in all different majors and like all your friends who are different fields. Like, maintain these relationships with them because you never know what kind of benefits they'll have in the future. And my last do is seek paid internships. Do seek paid internships. Emphasis on the paid. Know your worth, y'all. We are in a new era, a new world. We should not be doing anything that requires our talents that people need in order to thrive in their organization or their business. We should not be doing none of that for free. You know, in the past, you know, internships were free. But if you're doing something in your field that you have been studying for a while, because internships are typically for like sophomores, juniors, seniors. I mean, you can get one if you really like that. You can get one after your freshman year. But like, they're typically for people who have been in college for some time. If they are not paying, because they have the money to pay you. Trust me, they have the money to pay you. If they are not paying you at least $15, $16 an hour for your services over the summer or over a break, it's a scam. It's a scam. It's a scam now. It's a scam. We're considering it a scam. It may not actually be a scam, but not only are paid internships beneficial for your career and your resume building, but it's also beneficial to your college experience because now you're making money to save for the school year. You feel me? What better way to have your own source of income than to do something that also builds your resume and gives you more experience in the field that you want to achieve when you get older. And it also gives you a glimpse into the work life and what you will be doing, because paid internships, obviously they're paying you, so they're expecting a lot more of your time and energy. So it gives you an idea of how your life will be post-graduation with a position or a job like that. But that's pretty much it, y'all. Finally, I've been recording for so long. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, comment down below, hit that post notification bell, and hit that subscribe button, and comment down below. I said that already. I've been messing up my intro a lot. Or my outro, both, whatever. But add me on all my social medias. The links to all of them will be in the description box below. But yeah, I'm gonna be done talking. I'm gonna shut up because my SD card was at like 4 hours and some change, and now it's at 256. It just changed to 256. I'll see y'all later. Bye. You wanna be my number one? You're not acting like the main thing.